What's good, guys? It's Franalations here, and I'm going to go through my top 10 favorite games of 2015, so let's get right into it. Alright, so let me start off by saying this list is going to be based on base games that came out this year. Example, if a game came out last year, but a patch or an update came out this year, it's not going to make it on the list. There's plenty of games that are older that I would have put on this list that I play more. Examples, World of Warcraft, Pokemon card game online. But once again, they didn't release this year, although patches and stuff have come out throughout the year. So let's start off by the one and only Xbox One game on here, Rare Replay. I've had Xbox One since launch date. This is only the second game I picked up for it. Titanfall when it first came out, and now this. Definitely an amazing game, especially at its low retail price. 30 games in one, going way far back in the Rare library, guessing from like the 80s, stuff like that. And then obviously throughout the N64, the Xbox, Super Nintendo Arcade, all these just amazing games, tons of fun, trophies for each of the games and everything like that. Or actually, I don't know what they're called. I guess maybe not trophies on achievements or whatever they're called on Xbox One. But yeah, definitely an all-around dope game, and I think an important game too. Speaking of important games, this year we got Super Mario Maker, an amazingly dope game using the Wii U gamepad to its fullest. You get to create Mario levels using the Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World, and Super Mario U assets of the game. So it's really cool. People have made crazy levels. Some levels that play themselves, just like crazy stuff going on all around you as you jump on one platform and just watch it happen, or just really challenging levels, and just an all-around amazing release. I can't wait to see like another base Mario in the storyline, just like how we had Super Mario, the Mario World, the Mario Galaxy, because I know with a lot of the like Super Mario U and all that, it's a very like good game, but I want to see something on the caliber of Galaxy, I guess, and maybe we'll see that on whatever the NX is next year. Next up, we have Yokai Watch. This is an imported game that just came to the US earlier in the year, a couple months back. Yokai Watch is basically like almost like a competitor to Pokemon. It plays somewhat similar, but yet kind of different. It has like WarioWare type gameplay mixed with RPG elements. So they unleash this just like they do with Pokemon, like comic books, toys, video game, TV show, just boom, hit you with everything all at once. And the game itself is definitely fun. I even enjoy the show. The imported version has a little bit more like crude jokes and stuff like that, but even the American one, it's kind of crazy what they like slip under the radar so that it's like adult humor yet like kid humor too. And yeah, definitely an awesome game, Yokai Watch. Next up, we have a PlayStation exclusive, Until Dawn, an amazingly dope game. The graphics are amazing, the gameplay's dope. I grew up loving horror movies, and this game plays out like a horror movie. There's a bunch of teens in a cabin, and the way you play affects whether they live or die. So all of them could live, some of them could, none of them can by the end of it. And it's basically like a 12-hour, 16-hour movie, something like that. And so, very cool game. I hope to see more from this series. And yeah. Next up, we have Fallout 4, a really hyped up release. They haven't released one of the mainline series in like 6-8 years, something like that. Fallout 4 is a dope Western RPG, and I've only gotten a few hours into it so far, otherwise it would have made its way higher up my list. But gameplay, visuals, storyline, everything so far, definitely very dope. I was able to get the collector's edition. So this game, unlike most games, usually they'll announce games 2 years, 3, 4 years in advance. Whereas this game they had been working on for 8 years, and they kept quiet all the way up until months before they announced it. It had this huge announcement event, and that day when they announced it, I went ahead and pre-ordered the PS4 version, collector's edition. It came with the steelbook. And yeah, definitely need to spend more time in the Wasteland, but as I was mentioning earlier about games that have been out, previously that I play a lot of, play a lot of World of Warcraft, and usually one RPG is going to trump the other, and for me, it's World of Warcraft. Next up, we have The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask for the 3DS. This is a remake of the N64 game. As a kid, I remember beating this game over and over on the N64. This one, as well as Ocarina of Time and like racing my friend over and over, we just beat it. And yeah, just an amazing game. And they did improved graphics, some minor tweaks to the gameplay to make it more streamlined. It came out in a plethora of versions, and I got each version available. Same game, different packaging, different things that it comes with. The standard game, then the collector's edition with the figurine that was supposed to be an amiibo, but they basically didn't get the configuration done in time, so it's just a figurine. And lastly, this launched the same day as the new 3DS, so the golden new 3DS. Camped out for this, was able to get this, missed out on this, but one of you guys that follow me on Instagram worked at Best Buy, let me know when they got a restock. I went over there, was able to grab 2 of these for the collection. So yeah, Zelda Majora's Mask for the Nintendo 3DS. Alright, getting down to where it got difficult to start deciding some of the best games of the year that I played. We're down to the final 4 slots. For number 4, we have Metal Gear Solid 5. My first entry to this series was for Metal Gear Solid 2. I played it in one weekend. Me and a friend just sat there and each of us beat it one sitting. I beat it first, then he beat it the next day. And the game was just so amazing, unlike anything I'd ever seen before. And then I went back and played 1. And by the time 3 and 4 came out, I tried each of them. Didn't know what it was. I guess they didn't come out at the right time for me or whatever it was. I didn't play much of them. I was thinking very seriously about not even picking this up, and I'm so happy that I chose otherwise. Didn't beat the game. Got about 30 hours into it. All the missions are fun. The graphics are amazing. That 1 hour intro is amazing. And just really one of the best games so far for the PS4. Really showing the strengths of the system. And there's just so much into this game. So many side missions. So many things you can level up. And just an amazing game. Probably going to be one of the best of this gaming generation. So Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. Alright, number 3 on my list is a game that was actually a free to play download. I do have a little figurine box for one of the characters of the game. That game is Hero of the Storm. And when it first released, actually when it was first in alpha, I played that. I had never played a MOBA before. I didn't really put too much time into it. Didn't really give it enough time to really, I guess, sink in and really get its grips in me. And later on in the year, I did play it again, and it's been some of the most fun gameplay I've had in a video game in general. I think it's really dope how they use a lot of the characters known in the Blizzard world, from Diablo, soon to be Overwatch, World of Warcraft, StarCraft, and all of that. Very cool, amazing game, and I can't say enough about it. Definitely would have been higher if it wasn't for how great of an experience I had with the other games on this list. This is the only PC game on the list for the most part. As far as PC games go, I really only play Blizzard games. I've been playing Blizzard games since I was in like 3rd grade or something like that, starting with Warcraft 2 and going up through Diablo 2, Diablo 1, all of this amazingness, and of course World of Warcraft, as I've mentioned plenty of times in this video. But Heroes of the Storm, my number 3 pick. An amazing game. It's free to play. Give it a try. Alright, number 2 on my list is Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin. This is a remake, kind of remixed version of a game that came out for PS3. I loved that game when it came out. This has the improved graphics. In general, From Software is one of my favorite developers, and I got introduced to them through Dark Souls 2 on the PS3. Went back, played some of the other games. Some of the most challenging, fun, exciting RPGs in general. using another, again, World of Warcraft as a basis to explain something. One of the things I loved about WoW when it first came out was that exploration factor, not knowing where you're going when you go through a dungeon and just exploring the land and everything like that. This game has that, plus the difficult challenge of, for example, in World of Warcraft, some of the hardest bosses, it takes back then 40 people, now 20 people to kill. And you're kind of just with your team, figuring it out over and over. This has that same type of gameplay, but you can do it solo. So basically those challenging bosses, just attempt after attempt until you get through it. And yeah, just some of the best games I've ever played. Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. Dark Souls 3 is about to be coming out next year, and I'm really looking forward to it. It has gameplay mixed with this game, and my number one pick on the list, which I'll get into right now. My pick for Game of the Year is Bloodborne for the PS4, from the same creators as Dark Souls 2, a more fast-paced RPG game, whereas that one had medieval themes, this has gothic themes, some of just the best level design I've seen. One of the first games to really show off the PS4's graphics and what it can do. And yeah, I played it the first weekend it came out, all the way through, beat it, and the night that I beat it, I was up to like 4 in the morning playing it. I still continued to play once I beat it for that new game plus, try it on that more challenging difficulty level. And yeah, just an amazing game. They recently came out with a patch or an update for it. I haven't put too much time into that because although the game is very fun, very rewarding, it's one of those games you need to get in the rhythm for, and once you lose that rhythm, you kind of need to start all over to kind of like regain familiarity to it and just get back into the swing of things. But otherwise, an amazing game. They're taking traits from this over to Dark Souls 3, and I cannot wait for that to come out. And yeah, guys, that's my list. Top 10 games of the year. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll be back with more sneaker, collectible, and video game videos. Peace, guys.